Hey, what's up everybody? Christian here for Collider Games, and I'm very excited to be talking about the Resident Evil 2 remake. Now, Resident Evil has been my favorite video game series ever since I was a little boy, and I'm very excited to be playing this one because it's a remake of the original Resident Evil 2, and I think Resident Evil fans have been wanting this for a very long time. They remade the first Resident Evil back in 2002 for the GameCube, and it was phenomenal. They also did an HD re-release of it a few years ago for PS4, and so and also Resident Evil 7 came out a few years ago, and that was a great resurgence in the Resident Evil franchise. So after Resident Evil 6, I think Resident Evil fans were kind of hoping to go back to those survival horror roots. Resident Evil 7 brought that back. Resident Evil 2 is just another great example of what Resident Evil is truly all about. I think this game really nails it on all levels. If you are a fan of Resident Evil in general, this is going to be a wonderful treat for you to play because not only does it take things from the original sequel, but it also makes it feel a lot more refreshing. You can't exactly go into this game thinking, I've played Resident Evil 2 a billion times, I know exactly what to do. This game completely throws you for a loop, and it feels like a completely new game while still maintaining a lot of the main story elements and character traits that you might remember from that game, which is great because I didn't want to see, you know, a shot-for-shot sort of remake as you're playing the game. I like the new surprises, I liked everything that they kind of throw at you. And the fact that they're still using the Resident Evil 7 engine shows a lot. You see a lot of similarities. Like, the overall visuals of the game is very similar to Resident Evil 2. It's dark, it's grimy, it's like wet and damp everywhere you go, and you just feel claustrophobic a lot of the time. And I think that really does capture that same sort of, I don't know, eeriness that you felt when you play a lot of these games, and it does it in a way that sort of elevates it to a whole new level, makes it feel new and makes it feel fresh while still maintaining that Resident Evil sort of persona that if you've been playing these games for so long, you sort of get with all those games. But if you've never played a Resident Evil game before, this is also another fun introduction to the games because it does do something new with the material, and you know you won't be bored with it. You're definitely going to be on your toes, especially with this game. There's a lot of times when you're playing it, you may think you're in a safe area, but then all of a sudden zombies sort of bust through the door, or a creature busts through the door and starts chasing you. It definitely keeps you on your toes. It's definitely terrifying. There's a lot of great jump scares, and normally I don't like jump scares, but I think it's okay in video games. It kind of keeps you sort of aware of what's going on, and I think that's one of the most important things about this. So the gameplay is obviously different than the original one. The original Resident Evil 2 was a fixed camera perspective. It's sort of, you know, it creates tension by sort of maneuvering certain ways that isn't always the same. When you enter a room, going forward doesn't exactly mean you're going forward. This one takes the over-the-shoulder approach, the third-person approach, similar to like Resident Evil 4, 5, and even 6. Even the Revelation games, but it adds a little bit of uniqueness to it. I think when I was playing this game, I found it to be, for the most part, pretty smooth. There's a couple times when you're sort of turning corners and you kind of get stuck in an area, but it's nothing too crazy, but it also adds more to that horror element. It's very freaky when you can hear something from behind and you know it's chasing you, whether it's fast or slow, and it's sort of just creeping behind you. Switching around or doing a quick turn is always helpful in situations like that. So it does play really well. I like Resident Evil going this way. Hopefully in the near future, hopefully they can keep doing this, because I know it's a little bit different in Resident Evil 2 games where for the most part, a lot of them, you don't walk and shoot, and this one incorporates that. And I think it's fine. I think it moves really, really nicely. It's very smooth. It doesn't feel too action-oriented like Resident Evil 6 or maybe even 5 was, but still, it's a little bit of that uniqueness and freshness that I think the Resident Evil series needed. And it's obviously not first person. I think this is a great way to go if they're going to be going for the future of the Resident Evil series. As far as the story goes, I won't spoil too much, but it is, for the most part, the Resident Evil 2 game that you played in the past, and if you never played it before, it's essentially you can play as Leon Kennedy, a rookie cop for Raccoon City Police Department. He's going into the town kind of on his first day of the job, and there are zombies in the city. You sort of have to unravel the truth behind as to why this happened. Or you play as Claire, you're looking for your brother Chris from the first game, and she goes into the city also trying to figure out what's happening in the city and also trying to find your brother. And both of them play really great. The voice acting is elevated to a whole new level. It's not really cheesy as it was in the original one. As much as I love the charm of the original voice acting, this one, it modifies it. It's much more updated. It's a lot better. The characters are great. Everyone that you know, Leon, Claire, Ada, Birkin, all of them are there. They're really great. I won't spoil too much. Even the gameplay that you're seeing, it's in the very beginning of the game, so nothing too spoiler. And what I will say is that if you've never played these games before, save your ammo, beware of your surroundings, read the documents, because a lot of things will give you information, not just exposition for the rest of the game, but if there's a safe that you need to unlock, you read certain items or you read certain papers or things on the walls that will tell you those answers. You just really have to be aware of everything. And I say save your ammo because I found myself a lot of times wasting too much ammo on a stupid zombie, and Mr. X or a licker or a dog comes and tries to attack me, and I don't have enough ammo. And that's sort of the survival horror aspect of the game that I've always loved. It's just really cherishing all the items and ammo that you have. So I would say that's one of the big things, especially if you've never played it before. Don't go guns blazing. You could, I think you can put it on an easier setting. I went the medium route, and there were times where I was running really low on ammo, and it kind of freaked me out. So that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. So overall, the Resident Evil 2 remake is a blast. It's not just like a nostalgia thing either. It's a legit game. It makes me excited for what Resident Evil will become in the future, hopefully with Resident Evil 8, or if we will get a Resident Evil 3 Nemesis remake. I think that'd be amazing. But I'm excited to keep playing this game and play the other games that you can unlock after you beat the game. So I'm going to give Resident Evil 2, the remake, a 9.5 out of 10. I think this game is pretty close to perfect. A couple of clunky things with the mechanics as far as gameplay, but honestly, nothing too major that is going to really ruin the game. I think people are going to have a really good time with this, and I think I always just want more with Resident Evil, and this was a great filler to what what we'll get in the future for Resident Evil. I'm excited, and hey, are you excited? Let us know down below in the comments what you are excited about Resident Evil 2. Have you played it? If you have, let us know what you thought about it. Who's your favorite Resident Evil character? Chris is obviously mine because, he punched a boulder once. That's what he did. So let us know what you guys think down below. Subscribe to this channel, and hey, hit that thumbs up button because you like video games. Pew, pew.